What's up, everyone? Welcome to the most real podcast you'll ever listen to. This is Unpolished, told by KirkSlay, and I am GlamSlay.
And this is Kirk, and we are back at it once again. And guess what season this is?
I don't know. It feels like 100.
We are into season 4.
Woo!
Can you believe that? 4 seasons, y'all. 4 seasons.
Well, if you haven't done it already.
Not talking about the hotel.
What? Oh, my God.
4 seasons.
Like, subscribe, comment, email us at unpolishedpod@yahoo.com.
I just got crickets, man. If you saw the look how crazy I just got, she just looked at me.
I mean,
crazy.
Considering you almost killed me this evening,
Oh
you
my
ice
gosh.
cream degenerate.
Call me ice.
Can we just talk
What
about
is an ice cream degenerate?
Let me just explain something to you guys. And I took footage of this, so when Kirk gets this all up on YouTube, you're going to see the video. This man got from where we were to the ice cream place in 10 minutes. It normally takes like 15 to 20. Drove on 2 wheels, drove on the sidewalk, went through 4 red lights.
About to close.
Almost killed me. This man thought we were in the Range Rover driving to Sephora or Gucci, the way I used to whip the range. Like, you would have thought his life depended on it. And then he told me to get out, like, without even stopping the vehicle.
So make sure they didn't close and lock the doors. Better make sure
you can miss me with that.
What
sir.
do you mean?
How was your ice cream?
Ice cream is important.
Was it good?
I was actually kind of disappointed tonight.
Oh my God.
She skimped me on the brownies.
I can't. Well, the dogs look like they're enjoying their ice cream.
Yeah, they got a pep cup.
Anyway.
We are back.
We're back.
Season 4.
I can't believe it's been 4 seasons.
I mean, we just want to thank y'all. Thank you.
I'm very excited for what's to come
Yeah.
with this pod.
Yes, definitely. We got a lot in store for everyone.
Big things popping.
Yeah, just make sure you keep supporting, liking, subscribing, commenting.
I'm very
We
excited.
want to hear your thoughts.
I'm excited about this episode, though.
Oh, yeah.
This has been a long time in the works of me stewing over this episode.
From what it sounds like, I think you got a lot to say today, huh?
I always have a lot to say. This is how we got here.
Very true, very true. So what we talking about today?
Today, we are talking about titles.
Titles.
Do they make you relevant? Yes or no?
Titles, do they make you relevant? This is going to be a good one.
What do you think about when you hear titles?
I mean, I feel like everyone nowadays is out there chasing for titles, looking for titles.
But why?
Wanting to obtain titles.
For what reason?
I think it's just the society has engraved in everyone's head that titles, make you
Relevant?
put you in some kind of light that I mean, for some I think it probably makes them feel better.
Feel better
Give you
for
some sense of like fulfillment.
self-worth? Is that where we're
Self-worth.
getting our self-worth from now?
Yeah.
Is this what's happening? Is this what society is doing to us?
I mean, yeah. That's why else would somebody want to chase a title?
Have you chased a title before?
Yeah, nobody's trying to be a representative forever.
I mean, I think we're missing the bigger picture here, and that's why I really want to unpack this. Everybody is out here chasing a title, but nobody knows why, other than that they think that they should, because society, air quotes, eye roll, hair flip, tells us to.
I mean, what we're talking like job titles.
Listen, I'm
relationship
talking
titles.
everything. I'm talking girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, CEO, boss, owner. Do you know what all of these titles have in common? What I just said?
What?
They can all be taken from you in a minute.
I thought you were going to say they're just like words.
They're words, but they can be taken as fast as you get them. Girlfriend, boyfriend, you break up. Husband, wife, you can get divorced. CEO, owner, boss, you could be fired. You could lose your business. Do you know what one title that can never be taken from me that I wear every day?
What?
Mom.
Yeah.
Never, ever in life, unless they want to die a very slow death, will they take that title away from me. My kid is my kid forever. Your parents are your parents forever, in good, bad, and different. And no one really talks about those titles. No one's really out here. I mean, there are women that wait their whole lives to be a mom, or dad, men that wait their whole lives to be a dad, but we're chasing those things for a completely different reason because it fulfills you. Nobody knows why they're chasing girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife. And sometimes it's for all the wrong reasons. Do you feel me on any kind of level with this?
No, I definitely do.
Because it boils my blood.
I mean, I feel like everyone at some point has chased a title in some way, shape, or form. Especially in business. You know, like I just said before, like nobody wants to be like it's like a status thing. You know what I mean? So, you know, when you walk into the, I guess, and this is, I'm not this kind of person that does this, but I mean, I'm sure there's those folks out there that'll, like, you know, they go to meet up with their friends, or they go to meet up with, you know, or do some kind of meetup, or if they walk into a random bar and get to talking with somebody, you know, it's like they want to be able to say, like, yeah, I'm the director of this, or I run this.
Oh, my ass.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
Like,
Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? Maybe because, like, I don't know, I guess I'm older, and I just feel like people want to own a business. Do you know how hard it is to own a business?
for sure.
It is not sunshine and unicorns. It is blood, sweat, tears, time, sacrifice, money. Like, you know, we started Let's Go Sports. You saw what has gone into
It takes
that.
a lot.
And
Still.
we're not even done.
Yeah. Just
It is
still
a
getting
lot.
started.
We didn't do that to turn around and say we own Let's Go Sports. We did it because it was a passion. It was something that it was a passion project. It is not our full-time job. It is something that we believed in. But people walk around, do you know how poorly I get treated? Because I don't have a big ring on my finger, and I have a son, and I go to school with the frickin' Stepford wives down the street. Like, do you know how they all look down on me because I don't have a husband? And do you know that half of these bitches are unhappy and miserable? But they're looking at me crazy because I don't have a title as a wife.
They don't even want to go home.
Good riddance, okay? Because, listen, I would rather be happy than have a title. I'm sorry. Like, I'm a mom, and I get called that every day, and that is the most precious title to me, no matter how long my career is, or, like, it is a choice, you know? And I feel like, I think you bring up a very good point that people want to go out and they want to say, I'm a director of this, I'm a so-and-so of this. My dad taught me at a very young age, treat the janitor the same way you would treat the CEO, because someday that janitor could own the place and be writing your checks.
But, you know, I mean, it could be, you know, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, when you get those big titles or something, I mean, are you just chasing the money? Are you chasing the money or are you chasing the title?
Are you chasing happiness? Probably not.
I don't think any of that makes you happy.
What
money,
does,
I
though?
think money makes you happy, but
here we go.
But the title, does the title really make you happy?
Money makes you comfortable. Do you know how many CEOs that I know or have heard of that drive Hondas and live in basic houses, and you would never know they're a CEO, and they save their money and they treat people with respect?
They're the smart ones.
They're smart, and they're the ones that outlast the CEOs that are flaunting it, acting crazy. Does it really fulfill you? Like, I used to think that, right? Like, I used to think that having the dream car, your bucket list car that makes you really happy, until I bought one. And do you know what it made me? Miserable, because it comes with a headache. And then I learned my lesson that it isn't all that it's cracked up to be. Because really, does somebody care what I'm driving? They're not paying my bills.
I'm on the same type time.
I just feel some type of way. And I feel like, you know, these girls are out here, they want these big rings, they want to get engaged, they want all the dog and pony show, like I like to call it. Does anybody talk about that when you get engaged, air quotes again, and you have a fiance? Does anybody talk about in sickness and health till death do us part? If God forbid that other person gets sick, or you run into troubles in your marriage, or you go through financial hardships, nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about, like, the realness of a bond and a marriage and sticking with that person forever. You're just talking about a piece of jewelry and a big song and dance that happened that now you're engaged. No one talks about the real shit. and what comes along with that.
Yeah.
I want to preface this because I feel like I need to be very mindful and respectful, because I know a lot of people that have recently got engaged or are married that are in it for the right reasons, right? Regardless of how big the ring or whatever, they have dealt with real life shit, sickness, hardships, and they are in it for the long haul, right? And it doesn't always happen the first time. Sometimes it takes you a second time to learn your lessons, right? I respect that. And so I just want to be very clear that I just don't like the picture that society has painted of why we're chasing these things, because nobody really knows. You can sit someone down and they just don't know. And so that's what irks me, because it gives the people that are doing it for the right reasons a bad name.
Do you think that the title equals success?
I mean, I guess, do you mean financially? Like, what is success?
Okay, so you're this title, so that means that you are successful because you are this title.
No, and I'm going to tell you why. My entire career, I've been working since I'm 14 years old. That's a long time, okay? My entire career, I have only ever been a leader in a business. How crazy is that, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you know why?
Why is that?
Because I want to make a difference. It's not because I want to say that I'm a leader, because never once. I have vendors that I have to talk with, and you have to do your little introduction of who you are and how long you've been with your company, whatever. Never once have I led with my title. I lead with my name, how long I've been with my company, and what I do as far as I'm a leader of X. I'm a leader in the business.
All right.
Do you know how many people I hear and they say they lead with that? I'm so-and-so and I oversee. Come on.
Yeah, because that to them means success.
Means that they're relevant.
Yeah.
What success is to me is when I have somebody that I have led for so many years come to me and say, thank you.
Right.
Thank you for helping me. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for being there to listen. Right? Like, that fulfills me. It's the same reason why I wanted to coach my son's soccer team. Okay. Like, I could pull my hair out on days sometimes that they're not listening and that they drive me bananas. I love them dearly. Do you know why I wanted to be a coach?
Why?
Other than the fact they were going to cancel this season for these boys that all they want to do is play sports, I wanted to make a difference in these little humans' lives.
Right.
To teach them what leadership and teamwork and how to be human and respectful means. And so if I can do that, I did something. That to me is success, right? You know what's not success? Is chasing a title and waking up every goddamn day sick to your stomach and mentally not okay.
Yeah, I actually had that as one of my questions I was going to ask. Getting into that, we can get into that later.
I mean, you can ask me since we're on it. I mean, I feel like.
Well, I was gonna say, like, does that title help you get out of bed every morning?
I just this year learned, I think, in my 40s, that it is not worth it. When I tell you how many sleepless nights I have had thinking about, well, what's the next thing for me? Is this the next thing? Am I too unpolished? No pun intended. Thank you for all those people that called me that, because we're here. Thanks. I took the stones that you threw at me. It's not worth it. You hit a place where it's like, are you truly happy? Is my home happy? Is my family happy? We recently went to the beach, okay? I'm going to tell you something that in all my years of working, I've never been able to disconnect, not look at my phone, not worry about work, not worry about what's happening. We went and had a beach day, and I didn't do any of those things. And it was the first day in over 20 years that I felt at peace. It was just my family, my friends, the ocean, and fun. And to me, you can take all my money, you could take my house, you could take my car, take it all for that moment. And it wasn't until this year did I finally come to terms with that.
Well, now your goals are different, or you've realized, like, what you were doing by chasing the title or chasing whatever it was that, you know, like, does like a title, does the title make you a better person?
No, people make me a better person. Influences make me a better person. You make me a better person. My son makes me a better person. My family makes me a better person. The people that have trusted me to lead them make me a better person.
No, I agree. I mean, I I agree, and I'm totally in it. But for me, like, it's funny because, I agree with you wholeheartedly. But I'm out here still grinding,
But let me ask you something. If money,
But to me, the title means money.
it means
It
money.
equals
So I'm
money.
going to ask you something.
I equivalate the title to a higher salary.
And that's fine. It is unfortunate that we live in a world of inflation and of just crazy times, that everything is so goddamn expensive that we rely on these titles to get us there. It's competitive. It is combative. People are selling their mother for $1 to get ahead. Like, I watch it happen every day. It's sickening. If money wasn't a thing and you could wake up every day and do anything in this world,
then the title doesn't matter.
The title will never matter. It doesn't matter. But we are so messed up in the head, everybody is, that society has tricked us into thinking that we need to wake up every day and chase all the wrong things.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I want to go back to, the boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife thing. This is something that hits home for me because I feel like, so my dad is very sick, and he's terminally sick, but there was a point a couple years back that he was on life support. He was in a coma. And the doctor just kept saying, like, his proxy, you have to, who's his wife? Who's this? And that struck a chord for me because I think about, like, okay, what about two people that have been together for 15, 20 years? Maybe they never got married, and God forbid something happens to the other person. Who's going to make that decision? Like, in my mind, when you get engaged and you get married, you're thinking about that. I know it sounds so freaking morbid, but if you're not...
I think some states got the common law thing.
I'm sure, but the point of it is that you have to, like, you ride or die. It's till the wheels fall off.
Right.
Like, you have to think about, in a situation like that, if you weren't, your parent, like your mom or your dad, is going to make that call. What about the person that you just spent every waking day with for the last 15 years, that you have bills and houses and maybe kids and assets? What about them? They have no say unless you are bound by a piece of paper, by law, and married.
Yeah, that's crazy to think about.
It's wild. And I know it's so morbid, right? Like, I just think that people need to really think about why they're doing these things before they do it.
I mean, you think title chasing will ever stop?
No. And I'm going to tell you why I was so fueled by this. So I do a lot of reading. I love to read. I've gone through some crazy things in this past year, like career-wise, and just kind of searching for my why. And so in doing all of that, I stumbled across this article. Okay. I don't even know who this girl is. Her name is Vanessa Santos. She is now like a co-owner of a company. She wrote an article and it was on LinkedIn, and the title just like grabbed me. Like I was reading all these articles, and the title of her article was "Chasing Titles is Not the Key to Happiness." And I immediately like stopped everything I was doing to read this article. And I've never read something that resonated so much with me and with my entire career. She basically just talked about like growing up. She, she's Latina, and she was always taught that like women are housewives, and they do all these homemakers, and, very similar to Italian culture, right? Like the woman takes care of the house. She cooks, she cleans, she takes care of the kids. She grew up very much in a home like that. And she had this desire to be something different. And so she started work at a very young age in retail. I think she was like 17 years old, went in retail, had several jobs, was in leadership.
She worked her way up the corporate ladder.
She did. She worked her way up the corporate ladder, but I don't think she ever knew why. So she was always wondering, like, why am I doing this? Why am I really happy? What is happening? And in the article, there was a paragraph that like I just got stuck on. And she basically said that you can chase the thing that you think will make you happy all day long. But if you aren't clear on your purpose and your why, then no amount of titles will fill you up the way you'd expect. I felt her. Like in that moment, I could have hugged her because listen, you're replaceable at work. You're not replaceable at home. You're not replaceable to your kids.
Your family.
You're just not. And listen, Maya Angelou said, they'll never remember what you said. They're going to remember how you made them feel. And I am a strong believer in that to the core of you have to leave your mark. And it is not through chasing a title. That's not your character. That's not who you are.
You know, it's kind of funny that you say that because now, like, even though I said like I'm chasing or like I feel like I'm chasing a title for like to try to get more money, like more funds and be able to provide to my family better. But you know, now it's not like before. I was like, yeah, I want to get, you know, I want to be director, and I had that, you know, I want to be director. I want to be, you know, COO at some point, VP, you know, something like that. And that was what I was striving for. Now I don't give a damn if it's like, just make sure I got the check and I got the time to be like, and the culture is right, you know, like, you know, where I feel like I have that purpose. I have that, you know, I can feel good about what I do. I can get behind it, you know, things like that.
You have to find your why. And I think that's, people want the title, but they don't know why. So if you're one of those people, we've been there. We all have been there. I beg you, ask yourself why. And believe me, that's why we're here. That's why we do this pod. That's why we started Let's Go Sports. That's why we're starting a YouTube channel, because this is impactful for us. Having a voice is impactful. And if I could teach anybody anything, it's have a voice. Don't ever dumb yourself down to make others feel comfortable. Ever. Be you, stay in your truth.
So I got a question for you. So 10 years ago, right? Let's say 10 years ago.
Frightening.
10 years ago, I asked you this question. Do you chase titles or do you chase your passion?
No, I was chasing titles all day long.
And why? What would your 10 years ago self say?
Because I thought it was going to make me relevant.
Relevant,
successful. I was chasing money. I mean, everybody's chasing money all the time, but I was chasing money for the wrong reasons 10 years ago.
And then today, so you say you're all about passion.
Absolutely. And yeah, I mean, I have to make money, right? Like I have a kid to support and a family that depends on me, you know, to keep the walls up.
You know, it's crazy. Like we talked about doing this, you know, a couple weeks ago when you first read the article.
I was a little heated at the time.
And you know, I didn't read the article right away. And listen, y'all, like we don't script this. Like we just bring up a topic and then we're like, we'll just, you know, do a little bit of research and then, you know, build our own thoughts from that. And, you know, and if you were to ask me right now, and even probably 5-10 years ago, I'm probably saying chase the title. It's going to get you the check. You ask me right now, I still might even say chase the title, keep it real with you just a little bit. I guess that's just where I'm at as far as like.
And that's fine. Everybody is allowed to be in their certain place in life. That's okay.
But I do think it's very important that, you know, you find your purpose, you find your happy, you know what your why is, because without that, I think you're going to be empty,
My message here is don't rely on somebody else for your relevance and your self-worth.
Yeah.
Never, because I used to let people make me feel like I wasn't worth anything or I wasn't relevant until I realized that those people were idiots, right? Like they don't have self-worth. They're not relevant.
Well, one thing I found interesting that Vanessa said in her article was that she said she used to, when she got to a point where she was rubbing shoulders with like those quote unquote powerful people that she was wanting to strive for to be, that she looked up to, and she said that when she got to talk to them and working with them, she realized that they were lacking things that she had.
It's crazy,
and that she was better than them, and overall, even though they had done all these great things, or they were Ivy League caliber, quote unquote, or graduates, things like that. So
I'm glad you said that. I want to share something. I think I shared this a little bit with you. So the other day I was having a career conversation and I was talking to one of my mentors, and I was very candid and I said, what's next? Like, what do you do when you hit the point where it's like, where do you go from here? What's the next step? And do you know what they said to me?
What?
It was the most real and raw thing that I have ever heard. And I left the conversation with more respect than I've ever had, because it's somebody that has all the degrees, right? All the certifications, all the degrees. The next thing would be they'd have to go to be a doctor, right? They'd have to get a doctorate. And they're not about that life, right? Like that's just not for them. And they said that if they learned one thing over the past year, it's not about your degree. You could be the smartest, you can have all the degrees in the world, but if you are not self-aware and emotionally intelligent, you are dumb. You wasted your money.
Yeah.
And it was the most real thing I have ever heard in my life, because I witness this every day. It does not matter where your degree came from. There are the Harvard graduates, okay, that are the most ignorant and not self-aware people I have ever met in my life.
No.
Because they were in this bubble of like, I'm Ivy League, I'm book smart. Sometimes it pays to be street smart, because emotional intelligence will get you a long way.
Right.
And not a lot of people have that. It was just so raw and uncut to me, and I walked away from that and I was like, holy shit, like we are living in a world of it's who you know, it's politics, it's who's gonna cut the other to get ahead. It's not about your degree that all these people are spending all this money on and probably still have student loans. For what reason? A title. How wild is that?
I mean, that
What?
it's just crazy to me. That's why I'm laughing. Like it's
like, I feel like if you weren't chasing a title, and I know you're not going to admit this, you would be a phenomenal teacher. But you will not go get your master's degree to be a teacher. Why?
Oh, absolutely not.
For what reason?
Because you're not getting paid.
See? This is so sad to me. Because look at these teachers out here, and all due respect, but like I've seen some crazy things happen in the school system. You would be the most amazing teacher to mold young minds.
Here's the thing. I would be the most impactful working in the inner city and impacting those kids. And I just can't do that
because of the money
for $60,000 a year.
That's crazy. That is so, it's so sad to me.
Well, hey y'all, start paying teachers out there.
I agree. I mean, that is, yeah, absolutely. But like, my point is, because you're title searching.
No, I mean, I don't know. In that case, that I don't think that's
you had a director role and you were not happy.
I gave it up because it
was terrible.
The leadership even above me were trash.
See, this is my point. I can't drive this home enough. Like, wake up, step out of bed, and do something you love, and find your why. I'm gonna just keep saying it. Find your why.
I mean, listen, the teacher thing though kind of that's kind of messed up because that was
How is that messed up?
because it's not that I don't want to be a teacher because the title of being a teacher. That's not it at all.
But the title of a teacher comes with a shitty salary.
I mean, but that's not why I don't. I'm not saying I don't want to be a teacher because of the title though. And that's not.
Why are you a
title
coach?
chasing.
You don't get paid to be a coach.
Nah.
Why do you
I
do
coach
it?
because I love it.
If you could wake up every day,
I love the game.
You could just stop. If you could wake up every day, forget the money, and be a coach every single day of your life, would you do it?
I do it in a heartbeat.
See?
I do it in a heartbeat. Because I love the kids. I love the impact I have on the kids. I love the strategy that comes with it. You know, it's strategic. Trying to be a coach. You know, chess game.
Let me ask you this. Let's rewind because I realized that I didn't ask you. Do you think that guys like, I know girls, they're chasing that. They want the engagement. They want the big rah-rah, you know, like the whole thing, the ring. Guys don't get a ring when you get engaged. Do guys really care about having a wife? Like, do they care about that title? What is that like? Like, it's really not the same for guys.
That's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's more like a fulfilling kind of thing. I guess like, you know, you're not really a family or. Oh, that's weird.
Oh, you were just gonna say it. You're not a family unless you have the title.
No, I wasn't gonna say that. I was gonna say like that. I guess. I mean, I'm talking about like other people. I mean, I don't.
A family is what you. Family is. It's like a house is a house. To make it a home takes love and a family.
I mean, what? Like, say your question again.
I'm very curious. Like, it is very clear
do guys like? What do guys think of like?
Do guys need a wife? Like, do you need someone to call a wife?
I mean, I don't know.
Listen, it's the $1 million question. Guys, please let me know. Unpolishedpod@yahoo.com. I have stumped Kirk.
I don't know what guys have to say about that.
I mean, I feel like whether you're married or not, you would always say my lady.
Nah, it would change. I say my lady now because like girlfriend, I'm like too old for that.
It's weird, right? Yeah, like it becomes very awkward. Like I just feel like I'm looked at sideways when I say certain things because I'm not like, there's no white picket fence here, folks. Like, I hate to break it to you.
No, I would definitely use my wife. For sure.
I just don't think it matters as much.
I mean, it does hit different though. Like the reaction that people give you is different sometimes.
Yeah. But these are all things that other people, it's the judgy McJudgersons out there that have built these stigmas in society. Go back and listen to our timelines episode, right? Where we talked a lot about this. If you haven't listened, go back and listen to it. It is an epic episode. It hit home for a lot of people.
Yeah. We still get a lot of love on that one.
But anyway.
I want to hear some comments on that. I really want people to comment on that.
I know.
I want to have an open dialogue about that timelines one. Because that's like.
It hit home for a lot of people. Even this one, I
want to hear what people have to say about this one right here. Like, you know.
And listen, as much as we say this is unpolished and unfiltered, I don't want to offend the people that like, listen, I have a very happy home and family. And so the reason why I feel like some people are feeling the same way that we might be feeling, right? That this is all things that society and other people have done by judging in the wrong place, right? Like, God can do that when you get there, but nobody has a right to judge anybody for titles or how they choose to live their life. It's not fair.
It's like a measuring stick, though.
It is.
I'm thinking about that.
It's crazy.
It's literally a measurement of success. That's what the title comes down to.
Listen.
And that's why people chase it probably for the most part.
If Bravo had a Real Housewives of my town, this would be a shit show. I'm telling you right now, like, it would be a shit show. I've never seen such crazy, petty, nonsense go down.
Have you ever been in a social environment and people start asking, "Oh, well, what do you do?" And then like you just like beat around the bush and not give your title?
I don't give my title ever. Ever when they ask me what I
Yeah.
do. I tell them what I do. What I actually do every day.
Right. You give a description.
And
lead
sometimes
it-
I
lead
don't
it-
even
lead
know
the-
what I
and
do
lead the title
anymore.
up to the
Yeah, I don't even know what I do.
and lead a title up to them.
I mean, it is what it is. And even when like I'll be wearing like
I always give like the description.
Yeah, you give the description. I don't feel the need to lead with my title. I'm Nikki. Like, does it matter what I do or what I drive or what I wear or where I live? Like, come on. What street do you live on? And then they're Googling my house to see how much I paid for it.
That's so crazy.
That's what these bitches do out here. Are you kidding me? Anyway.
People are wild.
So, funny story. I had a Let's Go Sports hoodie on. And I was at I think I was at the field when this happened. And someone was like, "Oh, Let's Go Sports. Like, is that a brand?" And I said, yeah. Didn't say that it's our brand. I just said, yeah. And they were like, "Oh, that's really cool. I've never seen that brand before. Where do you get it? Like, who makes it?" And I was like, "Let's Go Sports." Like, and then they had to say to me, like, is that your company? And I said, yes, but I'm not going to lead with that.
Right.
Like, I sound ridiculous.
Some people would be like, "Yeah, that's me."
It's just uncomfortable. I don't know.
I probably would have been like, "Yeah, that's me."
I don't know. It's just very uncomfortable. I get very uncomfortable with that stuff. I just think it's like, who are you as a person? I don't want to know what you do and what your title is. I want to know who you are.
Yeah.
Tell me, give me the nitty gritty, unpolished, real shit. That's what I want to know. I don't care what you drive. I don't care where you live, what street you live on, how much you paid for your house. It doesn't matter.
Just, are you a human?
Are you going to rock with me? Are you a ride or die? Are you going to it's like the scene from The Town when he walks in and I say, "This is me and you all the time." And he says, don't ask me questions. I can't tell you what we're doing. We need to hurt some people. And the dude turns to him and says, whose car are we taking? That is it. Stop asking questions and just get in the car.
That's my movie too.
I love that movie. All right. That's it. I'm done with my rant. Don't forget, be afraid and do it anyway.
And don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.
We're
gonna be moving over. We're gonna be moving over to YouTube very soon. We got some things coming and some things in the works. So keep staying tuned. We'll give you more updates as we go. Man, we love y'all, man. Season 4. We here.
Unpolished.
Unpolished pod.
At yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com.
Subscribe.
You already know. And as always, peace and love, y'all.